What the going on this team, Jerry?
Bury him! Bury him!
Jerry, TJ Watt.
He is the best defensive player on the planet.
Go! Yes! Yes! We're going to fire! Steelers fans! Bang! Run it down their throat!
No! That's not a penalty!
Game over! Game over! Don't ask me to do nothing! This is nothing!
He's aggressive.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Steel Here podcast, where I'm your host, Kevin Adams, alongside my partner in crime, Jersey Jerry. And today we have a special interview for you guys. We have an electric preseason performer. He is Nick Herbig. We'll go to the interview. We'll come back. We'll talk about expectations here now that the preseason is over and we're looking at week one. We'll see you guys here in a bit. It's time to welcome to the show from the University of Wisconsin, representing the great state of Hawaii, at linebacker number 51 of the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is Nick Herbig. What up, Nick? Welcome to the show.
What's up, guys? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, brother. Appreciate you coming off a fucking stellar preseason. Now, it's just the preseason, but Jerry, Don, and I are happy to have you because we genuinely believe this is the next great Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker.
I appreciate that. But definitely have a lot of work to do. Like you said, it's the preseason. We need to get that Lombardi back here in the Steel City, baby.
Yeah, I was talking to Kevin yesterday, and I was like, yo, Kev, I played golf with Nick. The dude is not big. He's not big. How's he doing this? How's he getting these sacks? He's a small guy. How's he doing this?
No shit, he did say it, though.
That's crazy, Jerry. That's crazy. I thought we disclosed information that day that was not gonna get disclosed elsewhere.
Oh man.
He's like
dynamite comes in small packages. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big knock, obviously, you coming out of Wisconsin. Now, you could obviously rush the passer in college. I'm a Penn State fan. I watched you beat us up a good bit of times. But that was a big question mark. Can Nick Herbig play edge rusher in the NFL? Is he going to have the size to do it? Obviously, the speed is there. But you've had the ability to overcome those things. I heard TJ saying fairly recently that you've been this size your whole life playing football. So you're good at manipulating. You know the angles you have to take in order to make shit happen.
Yeah, I think I've been playing outside backer probably since my sophomore year of high school. And that was always even my grandma used to be like, you need to eat more. You're so skinny. Bro, I was like 190 my senior year in high school playing outside backer, just skin and bones. I had an 8-pack. Shredded. Skinniest outside backer you ever seen. But then really, it was like my brother, like, hey, bro, like the way the game's trending, like outside backer's a spot. And then, obviously there's TJ. But like guys who are like smaller doing it, like I really think like Von Miller, he used to kill people.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, bro, he's not 6'5", 260. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I kind of.
So I told Jerry, I'm like, Jerry Don, it's more so the game has shifted from power edge to more, because it goes in cycles. If you're going to have big, strong, powerful tackles, then speed can win against those guys. And for years, the league has been having these tackles that are monsters. And so a guy like you comes in, you're just too fast for them. And it was for many years, you needed to combat the power with the power. So you had a bunch of, power rushers. But that's why, honestly, I think you've really started to carve it out, especially the way that the Steelers are using you now, shifting you to the inside, some stunts coming up the middle. Is that something, do you anticipate playing on the field at the same time as both Highsmith and TJ this season?
I'm not sure. That's really out of my jurisdiction. That's really on, TA, Mike T, the coaches and what they want to do with me. Shit, obviously I'd love to do that, but we'll see what happens. Right now I'm just working on my punt protection, figuring out this new kickoff, bro. It's crazy. New kickoff is crazy. I think that's gonna be wild. Like we've got a snapshot of it in preseason, but obviously everything kicks up a notch when the regular season starts. So it's gonna be wild out there. I'm looking forward to it.
Yo, Nick, how is everybody talks about Mike Tomlin, Danny Smith, Arthur Smith. What's Terrell Austin like? Nobody really ever talks about him.
TA, he's very like mild mannered. He's like coaching us there. we install. But I like TA because he really just lets you play. You know, like he's not trying to overcoach you all the time, and he kind of lets, you know, like obviously in my situation, like lets guys like TJ and Alex coach me up. You know, and he really lets like Dunbar and Denzel coach a lot too, like in their respective rooms. You know, like he lets the coaches coach, and players play, which I really like a lot. So I like Tia. Yeah, he's a good dude.
You pick a lot up from TJ and Highsmith, like especially this year. You're working on the inside spin move. Is that something you have developed through them, or you just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna try and work on this myself"?
Yeah, Alex has been, because you know that Alex is, man, his spin is crazy. So
Right.
definitely workshop that with Alex a lot. We just bounce ideas off each other like literally every day. So just going out there and just trying stuff, honestly, because you really never know till you try it. So
Your relationship with TJ, does that helps? Obviously, like you guys are talking year round. This isn't just like during football
yeah.
season. Like that's
Yo,
your boy.
TJ's a better golfer than he is too.
Oh, stop, bro. Stop, bro. He still talks about that to this day. To this day, he talks about it. But I don't think you can consider him a better golfer because we played 9 holes. Like nobody. So if anybody's watching this that plays golf, like you know that a real golf game is 18. Like you could have a terrible front nine and come to life on the back. You know,
Well,
or
I,
you
I
can have
did I did tell Kevin you had a terrible first hole, and then
terrible.
he like parred and bogeyed everything else.
It made
Yeah,
11.
I was starting to warm up, you know, and that's how it goes. Like guys like Scotty Scheffler, he'll be like +7 on the first day, and then the next day he's like -7.
He
Like,
just did it in the Olympics. He fucking was down
Yeah.
like 5 shots going to the back nine. He storms
So-
back to win it. So I don't know. I agree with him. TJ can't really talk too much shit about that. They only
Yeah,
played half the match.
but his thing is, bro, we agreed on 9 holes and blah blah blah, but whatever. And I was just like, whatever, bro. So if you make more free throws, we were talking about free throws in basketball. I'm like, okay, so if you make more free throws than me, are you a better basketball player? No, we have to play like a full game, you know. But it's whatever. It's whatever.
Don't let Jerry talk shit. You've played golf with
Yeah,
him.
Jerry. I don't know why Jerry's talking. He was getting backpacked the whole day. He was getting backpacked, bro.
Fair.
Speaking of getting backpacked, saw you training with Debo in the preseason there a little bit. He tell you anything of value? Obviously, that's a fucking legend pass rusher for the Steelers. So I'm sure you picked up something out of that guy.
Oh, bro, that little move he does, that rip, is crazy. And obviously, like I'm not Debo. Like he's probably bench pressing like 500. So
He's a gorilla.
like I remember the first, like he was showing me, he's like, all right, now you go, and he like act like the tackle. And I went to like do the rip, and he threw his arm out, and he like snapped my head. I was like, God. I was like, dude, this guy could still play right now for sure.
Yeah, he's built different. When you, a big question that I have for you, obviously you're going into year 2. So your first year, everything's a blur, I'm sure. But there was at no point last year when you got on the field did it look like you were out of place. Like Jerry and I fucking tweet about it every game. Like Nick Herbig, this guy, every time he's on the field, he makes some shit happen. You feel better going into year 2, you know, than you did year 1? Like expectation wise, where are you at with that?
Yeah, I think it's more so like that jump everybody talks about. Like you really get a true off season. You know, get let your body rest, because once you go from college to your rookie year, you're going. You know what I mean? Like you're really going from
Straight through
fall camp in college, and now you're just rookie camp, combine, all of that. And really the mental aspect of it too. You know, you kind of get to get away mentally, get your mind right. Kind of know what to expect now going into year 2. Kind of feel the flow of things. You know, more people in the building. You develop relationships. So it's definitely way better. Rookie year is tough, man. Rookie year is tough.
You know, Nick, how is last year? I'm sure rookie quarterback and Kenny. What's the vibe like that you see offensively different from this year having Russ and Fields there? You know, Russ obviously proven veteran, Super Bowl champion, and then Fields 4 years in the league. What's the biggest difference on the offensive side of the ball this year?
I mean, we have a new coordinator too. You know, Arthur Smith. So it's just a whole new scheme. You know, it's just a new scheme. You know, I don't really like speak on that side of the ball much. Like, I don't know what goes on with them and all their things. And, I bet being a quarterback is tough. But yeah, you can tell Russ is like, he's played in a lot of big games. He's a gamer. He wants to win, very competitive. Same with Justin. He's very competitive. I talk trash to them every single day. Uh, and, just, I like that aspect of it. And, they bark all the time. So I like it a lot.
Russ gives it back to you?
Oh yeah, Russ will talk, man. Russ ain't no slouch, bro.
Damn.
We in practice
Shocking.
we'll be in like 7-on-7. Russ a legend.
He still has some game. Like he still can fucking push the ball downfield. Like he could beat you.
Yeah. Not like if he's running. No, I'm hawking him for sure. I'm hawking.
Yo, Russ
I'm
would
hawking kills.
Russ would bury you, bro. He would.
He probably would. He probably would. I'd hawk Fields too. I hope he sees this. I'd hawk him, bro. We always talk about it every day. Like, he's like, bro, you're not sacking me. You're not touching me. I'm like, bro, you have no idea, bro. I wish I could play you.
It seems like the vibes are great over there right now.
Yeah, bro. It's a great vibe right now.
TJ, obviously you've only been with the Steelers. This is coming up on year 2, but something Jerry had, TJ and Jerry had talked about. TJ feels like this is, one of the best rosters, the closest they've been in quite a few years. So as Steelers fans, we fucking love to hear that. You start the show off saying you're trying to bring the Lombardi back to Pittsburgh. Like, the tradition of Pittsburgh Steelers football. It means everything to us. To go on a drought like we've been on as far as not winning playoff games and everything, like, that's a fucking elephant in the room. So, does it feel as it goes through, you're going through training camp, was this like a heightened training camp, you're fucking banging a lot? Because being there, it seemed like it was a lot more physical than it has been, in years past. Like, guys are getting after it this year.
Well, I mean, I think everyone's just, we want to win, you know what I mean? And obviously, we gotta try to win this year. So we're definitely taking that approach. And I think Steelers, man, we've been taking that approach since day one. Mike T lays that foundation day one. Like, he lays out the base, what we're going to build on. And we've been going from there.
Do you like getting called Mr. Herbig from Mike?
Somebody asked me that a couple weeks ago after a game. And I said it was like a top 5 feeling for sure. Like, when he calls you Mr., when he says Mr. Herbig, I'm like, yeah, like, that's a good feeling. That's a good feeling.
You like playing for Coach T? Like, obviously he's a fucking legend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bro. Like, no disrespect to any of the coaches I've played with before, but Mike T is definitely my favorite. He's the best. And he's very good at what he does.
So we have to ask you. So obviously we heard recently that he'll chew you out, like, not in public. He won't, like, he's good about doing it, behind closed doors, but you ever get your ass reamed by him?
Oh, all the time. All the time. All the time. But, like, I like that. You know what I mean? Like, that gets me going. And I think that's what makes him such a great coach. Like, he's not so much nitpicking what you did wrong or what you did right. It's like, he knows how to motivate you. He knows what buttons to press. Like, he'll press buttons, like, and he'll get you fired up. He'll get you going. Like, he'll call you out in team meeting. Like, he'll put a clip of you getting embarrassed, like, and just talk shit, like. And that's not a good feeling, You're sitting there in front of the whole team, and it's like, damn, like, okay.
Just eating shit.
Yeah, bro. But I love that. I love that about Mike T. He's a very straightforward, like, very transparent guy. Like, he's not gonna tell you, like, blow smoke up your ass. You know what I mean? Like, there's no smoke and mirrors. It's black and white. It's this way or that way.
Yo, Nick, I wanted to ask you, when I was talking to Kenny last year, texting back and forth, he always used to talk about, like, Joey Porter and Corey Trice. Before Corey Trice got hurt last year, he would be like, yo, Jerry, this kid's Corey Trice. He's good, bro. He's fucking really good. He's long. He's got good ball awareness. Like, he's going to be really good. What do you see in Corey Trice this year? Because he looked so good in the preseason. How does he do in practice?
Oh, Corey's a dog. And he has that mindset too. That same mindset. He's really, like, has that Steeler mindset. Like, he works hard, man. He's obviously coming off of a ACL, so that can be challenging. And just the way he attacks every day, I have nothing but respect for that guy. The way he works, his attention to detail and how he tries to get better every single day.
Speaking of a guy that's getting better every single day, and obviously he's one of your best friends, Keeanu Benton. I mean, Nick, this guy is a fucking dog. Like I can't.
Dog.
He's gonna be an absolute fucking monster. The fact that Wisconsin has a headquarters here in Pittsburgh is working out for the Steelers. But that guy, you've played with him quite a while. It's got to be incredible to see your best friend fucking shine like this too.
Oh, bro, like I think that was like they asked me like what was the highlight of the season last year, and I said when Keanu got his first sack. Like I was in that, so I was in the game, and I was obviously dropping in coverage, because TJ and Alex will take all the pass rush. So I'm out there dropping. I turn around, and I see Nunu sacking him and get up. I'm like, let's go! Like that shit was lit, bro. Like that's really my brother. Like we really like brothers for real. Like he's been to Hawaii a bunch with me. Like he's really like family now. And he's about to have a big year. Big year.
I feel like just watching him last year and watch him shine a little bit last year and then watching him this year in practices and preseason, like I feel like he's due for a big year. He's so good.
Bro, we're in college. I forget what game we were playing. I have bad memory. But we're playing a game, and this dude, like, we went out there, and he got a whole 3-and-out by himself, like TFL, sack. And I'm like, damn, like, holy. And he started screaming, pounding the ground. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro, this guy's a dog. Like, it's different. Like, when he's out there, like, it's different. Like, run game, pass game, whatever. Like, he's a dog.
Did you have any idea the Steelers were going to draft you, Nick?
Right.
Or no idea at all?
No idea. I mean, I had met with them, but, like, you meet with teams, a lot of teams and coaches. But I really thought I was going to play inside linebacker because that was, like, my whole pre-draft process was, like, gearing up to play inside linebacker at the next level, because obviously my size or whatever. So I actually had my pro day workout was with our inside backer coach, Aaron Curry. And we're watching, like, all inside backer tape. And I got the call on draft day, and Omar is like, hey, I'm gonna give you to your position coach, Denzel Martin. And I'm like, who's that? Yeah. And he's like, what up, Nick? Like, you ready to rush the passer? I'm like, what? But yeah, it was I'm very fortunate that I was able to. They kept me on the edge and let me work and craft and kind of learn from TJ and Alex.
You got to be hype as shit about that. Not just that. You get the call. Like, everyone that's a Steelers fan, they seen the video. You're fucking emotional, crying, hype as shit. But, I mean, you just talk about Keanu. Your brother at that point is already on the Steelers, calling you a stud. Just an absolute Nick Herbig stud. So you get to play with both your brother and your best friend. Like, the Pittsburgh Steelers really do try to build that culture of, like, family. And it helps with that type of stuff happens.
Oh, 100%, bro. Like, I remember when Nunu called me. He called me. He's like, hey, bro, I'm about to get drafted by the Steelers. And my brother was already signed there. And I'm like, what? But I tell everybody at the draft, I'm like, Nunu's going to the Steelers. I don't even think we had champagne left for when I got drafted because we popped champagne. We're going crazy over there. Like, I'm on the phone with him. Like, my pop's going crazy. My mom's going crazy. Everyone's like, yeah, like, let's go. Yeah, so it was a wild experience, bro. It's truly blessed and grateful, to be honest.
How's your brother doing, Nick?
He's good. Just had surgery. Gonna get his shoulder right, get his mind right. And I'll be there for him. But yeah, I think he's all right.
Speaking of brother, Jerry Don, have you ever done the Diaz voice with Nick? Have you ever let Nick know? You knew who the Diaz brothers are, Nick?
The Diaz brothers?
Yeah.
That is Nick and Nate. That is Nick and Nate. 100%.
Nick and Nate. Me and my brother are Nick and Nate.
Jerry's always like, bro, every time I talk to him, I'm just thinking of Nick and Nate Diaz. Like, that's who they are.
Yeah, they're the same people. I'm telling you, they're the same people.
Diaz Army, baby.
Yeah.
The sack dance. Nick, tell us about the sack dance because now we're starting to get to see it a little bit more. I don't know what the fuck your air guitar or like I don't know what the hell it is, but I need some background on it.
What is that, Nick?
It's a shaka. Like in Hawaii, everyone throws a shaka.
Oh, okay.
So I have like a double shaka, and I'm kind of just boom, like yes, sir. As you
I
say,
like
yes,
that.
sir.
I like that.
But you gotta say yes, sir when you're like, yes, sir.
So that's what it is. Yes, so Jerry,
We,
we're gonna.
we gotta get TJ to do one of those this year.
Yeah, no, it probably won't happen. I mean, like me and his handshake though, like when we handshake at the end, we go like that. Like,
Yeah, I've
yes, sir.
seen that. I've
Yeah.
seen that one.
It's
What?
like a lot of our pictures were like that. Like, yes, sir.
You should do TJ's sack celebration one time, and he should do one of yours.
Bro, we've talked about like joked about it on the sideline. Like Cam would be like, "Hey, bro, like I dare you to do TJ Selly, like when you make a play." And TJ's like, "Don't you dare do it! Like, don't you dare do it!" Like
That'd be
TJ, like,
fucking hilarious. You did it.
and
Though.
I told Cam I was gonna do it, and I mean, when you get a sack, you just kind of like black out, and you don't really
Yeah.
know, like, you know what I mean. So I didn't remember to do it, but I definitely wanted to do it, and I didn't.
I remember
I probably won't.
your first sack. I'm pretty sure like TJ's waving you into the end zone, like trying to show you everything you want to do. I'm pretty sure he's like, that's my boy. He's like, but sometimes you black out, you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. So the first time through, I wanted to get him into the end zone, show him what we do.
Yeah, that was like my first strip sack. Like that was like my first big time play.
Yeah.
Like for real in my career. And I didn't know what was going on. I'm just like get up and TJ's like, bro, over here. And I'm like, all right. All the boys are with me. That was lit. That was lit for sure.
Was that
Nick,
Seahawks game? Was that the Seahawks game when you did that?
Yeah, that was a Seahawks.
Jerry Don, you love that. Jerry had 20K on the Steelers money line that game. We were dogs. We were like plus 145 or something like that. So
I think we were plus like 2.5 or 3 that game. I took the money line.
Yeah, it was wild. So Jerry was riding on that play.
Oh yeah, that was a big game. Yo, Nick, when you're rushing the passer, like, is your first instinct as a pass rusher when you feel like you're about to get a sack? Like, is your first instinct, where's the ball? I got to strip the ball.
I would say like anytime I'm on the edge of a tackle and like I get my eyes up to see the quarterback, like I'm looking where the ball's at. Because that's really, especially the way the game's going now, like you can't
really hit them, right?
Yeah, you can't really hit the quarterback anyway. Like if you fall on him a certain way, you hit him too hard, they're gonna flag you. So that's really, but I wish I learned stuff like that, like I've learned that from TJ and Alex. Like every little drill they do, they're always like just muscle memory, like they're hitting a ball out. Cause like I would like I'll see like an old video of me like in college or something. I'm like, bro, I could have got the ball out so many times, but I'm just trying to get the quarterback down, you know. So that's definitely a big part of the game for sure.
Nick, what'd you focus on most the offseason? Like, what was, if you had to say, I'm sure in exit interviews they talked to you about shit, but like, where did you focus most going into year 2?
I would say like mentally, bro, like, because obviously like the physical stuff, like that's given, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna have to work hard, you're gonna have to grind, you're gonna have to train, if you want to stay in this game, if you want to be a player for a long time in this league. So obviously I knew that, you know what I mean, having my brother TJ, like everybody tells you that, but it's like the mental part, like how do I keep my mentals right? How do I make sure I'm on top of that? Making sure I'm in a good headspace, ready to attack everything I go into. You know, how I take care of my body. You know, am I sleeping enough? Am I taking the right supplements? Am I, you know what I mean, am I putting the right stuff in my body, my diet, all of that? So really just the mental aspect of it. And like obviously I trained with TJ for a couple weeks before camp, and that was big. That was huge.
He's a freak. TJ trains like a monster.
Yeah, he doesn't train harder than me, but yeah, he's a monster for sure.
Oh, he's not gonna like that.
It's okay. It's the truth. He knows it.
So going into year 2, you played the entire division one time through. Who do we hate the most? Like, you know, of those 3, of the Bengals, the Ravens, and the Browns, one of those teams you have to despise the most. Which one is it?
All of them, bro. If they're not black and gold,
It's a great answer.
It's a fucking great
if
answer.
you're not black and gold, bro, we ain't friends, bro. Like,
What has been your favorite stadium to play in? Obviously, besides Pittsburgh, but like, what's been your favorite like atmosphere? Like, holy shit, this is actually pretty dope.
the Seahawks game was pretty loud. The Browns in Cleveland was that was rocking. And like I think Myles Garrett had like a sack on the
Opening
second
first play.
Yeah, like in the touchdown, and I was like, and we're running out there for punt, and we're like backed up, and the crowd is going nuts, bro. And Myles Garrett's still out there, and I'm like, oh, this is real. Like we can't let this punt get blocked.
Did you have last year, Nick, a like welcome to the NFL moment where you were like, oh shit, these dudes are grown fucking men? Like, did you have one moment last year where like, god damn, holy shit?
I had two of them. The first one was my first play. Not
Play?
It was the opening kickoff, and we're receiving, and the old kickoff. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah.
So I have my guy. I'm looking at him like, okay, I have that guy, and I look back. They kick the ball. Run to my spot. I'm supposed to set up on like the 30-yard line, I think. So I get there and I turn around, and he's like 5 yards past me already, and I'm looking at him just running past me, and I'm like, holy. He smacks our returner, and Danny Smith is just going off on me, like, and I'm like, damn, like, okay, like, yeah, this is different, bro. Like the speed is just everybody's fast, bro. Like everybody's humming.
A lot of people say that it's the speed from college to NFL. It's just the speed is different.
Different, bro. Different. Everybody's fast. Everybody's athletic, big, strong. Like it's different. So you obviously have to find what's gonna make you different. But then we're playing in Cincinnati, and we had like a call where I'm supposed to knife inside. Like I have to go inside instead of staying on the edge. And Orlando Brown was the tackle, and I saw him like step down. So I'm thinking like, okay, I'm just gonna like go around, like run behind him. And he like hinged back to me, and he like grabbed me and threw me right boom on the ground. And I was like, holy, like, and I'm just like eating turf. I was like, god damn. And I get back up, whatever they're playing. I just see my brother over there like shaking his head, like swearing at me, like, what are you doing? I'm like, wake up, screaming at me, bro. And I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. I just got embarrassed.
Do you ever talk shit to the quarterbacks, Nick, when you sack them?
Nah, I don't really like. I don't really like talk for real. Like in the game, I just be in my own mode. It's really special teams, bro. We be talking crazy on dudes be talking crazy on special teams, bro. Because it's only one play, and you don't know when you're gonna see that guy again. Like
Exactly.
Like you don't know what form or fashion you're gonna see him. Like you could see him on punt, but you could see him on kickoff. Like, but you just know like if you get got on that, like you're looking for him now. Like you don't know when it's gonna be, but yeah.
You like the new kickoff setup? Like I know you mentioned at the beginning, but is that something you fuck with? Like obviously as a fan, it's different. It's Jerry and I don't love it just because it's
I don't really like it, Nick.
It's wonky. I don't know.
I think it's like the safety of the game. It's awesome. You know what I mean? Because obviously it's not. You have guys running. The speed, like we were talking about the speed, and guys are just running and crashing into each other. Like that's not sustained. That's not healthy. You know what I mean? But so it's definitely takes that aspect out of it. It's a lot harder than it looks. It kind of turns into almost like a zone play. Like the offense is running like zone read or stretch or something.
Gotcha.
You know, you kind of you got to hold your gaps. But on the flip side, like if you're on kick return, like before, like if you get beat, you have a chance to recover.
Yeah, this seems like you don't.
Yeah, if you get beat clean, like
You're fucked.
it's just tough to recover from that. So you kind of really have to lock in on your technique and be really, really what's the word? Really detailed in your work.
Yeah.
In that part.
Discipline. You're a Renegade fan? Like when Renegade hits Heinz Field, you fuck with that?
But who doesn't?
I mean, there's a lot of people in the fan base that are like, that song is dead and old. We got to find something new. But like to me, that song is like religion, like gospel. I want to fucking hear it.
But that shit is lit. Shit is lit, bro. When you hear that come on, you're just like, yeah. Especially like a night game.
Oh, it's the best. The towels going, brother. There's nothing.
The lights start flickering. Everyone going crazy, and the defense is coming out. Like, what?
Are we gonna see a visor Nick Herbig this year? Or nah, not really.
think so, bro. I think so.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. It's a little
love
swag,
that.
you know what I'm saying? A little drip.
You on social media, like during the season, some guys have like a strictly no social media policy. You see shit people talk, the hype, the praise, you see all that, or you kind of steer off?
I mean, I'd be lying if you say if you say you don't see any of it. Like, obviously, you're gonna see it regardless. Like the world we live in today, whether
Yeah.
it's I'm looking for it or someone sends it to me or it just pops up, you know. But I mean, I try not to pay attention to that. But you know, it's just the reality of the game we're in and the world we live in that is gonna appear. But yeah, I try to silence that out as much as possible.
Jerry Don, what you got?
Nick, dude, it's been so much fun, bro. This is like, I think, one of the best interviews we've ever done.
Yeah, for real.
Listen,
Besides
still,
TJ, obviously, yeah. Besides
yeah,
TJ,
no, well, we
big
never
bro.
really, our show, we never did TJ.
Jerry's waiting. So Jerry's like, we get TJ. I want to do an in-person interview. Like, I don't want to do like this. He's like, that's like, you know, we got to get him
That's
in
for
person.
like guys like me. Yeah, I know. That's for
No,
like guys
see,
like me.
I don't look at it
See,
that
I see it's all
way.
good.
Come on.
It's all good, bro. It's all good.
Yo, Nick, I wish you the best of luck this year, bro. You're a dog. I can't wait to watch you thrive on Sundays, bro. You're going to be the next great Steelers linebacker. I've been saying it since last year. Kevin's been saying it. We're just so excited for the season to start. Wish you the best of luck. Hope you stay healthy, and let's go win a Lombardi, bro.
Appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Nick Herbig's a dude, Jerry Don.
Dude, I mean, honestly, I know I said it at the end of the interview. Probably the best interview we've ever had with a player. I mean, had a little bit of everything, funny, serious, you know, talked about different moves, techniques, celebrations, relationships with different players and coaches. It was so far my favorite interview we've done with a player.
Oh,
Nick's amazing.
He's funny too. Like he's
a funny guy.
he is.
Funny guy, bro.
He is fucking hilarious.
Dude, like I think like me and you, you know, obviously we're both diehard Steelers fans, and like I feel like we know when a player like has it, and he has it, bro. I mean, we've said it last year. He's going to be a dog.
It's not even just that. It's the mindset. It's things that you talk to him about, you know, post-interview, pre-interview. Jerry's on the phone talking to his realtor and doing a whole bunch of shit. So I'm talking to Nick for like 5-10 minutes. Just the way that he talks about wanting to win. Dude, it's like, it's how the fans feel. Like, I would saw off my own fucking dick if it meant winning a Lombardi. And like, this guy has the mindset of whatever it takes. You hear him say, you know, he says to Jerry, he's like, that guy would eat rocks to win. Like, I love a guy like that, dude.
Yeah. You know, and Nick's incredible. Feel really bad for his brother, you know, because they're so close, obviously. And, you know, he's done for the year. But, you know, the relationship he has with Keeanu Benton is incredible. TJ Highsmith. I think he's in a great system. He really is. I think he's going to thrive in this system, you know. You know, TJ Watt takes plays off. You know, people, you know, he does. He takes plays off where he's on the sidelines. He doesn't play every down. I think Nick is going to fill that void perfectly this year. You know, whatever, like Highsmith's going to need a break. TJ's going to need a break. He's going to slide in. Honestly, I would love to find a way at some points during the year to get them all three on the field at the same time, somehow, some way. I just think the three of them are just that good.
And I think if you hear how he said, you know, initially he thought he was going to move to inside backer, and then you saw it a little bit in the preseason. They had him playing inside backer. Now, it was just DeMarvin Leal and he as the edge rushers, but he still moved from edge into the inside, and he created the havoc in that Bills game. You know, he looks great against the Lions. He has 3.5 sacks in the preseason. Like, this guy he's going to be fucking good. You can see it. You could see it last year. Every time he's on the field, he's creating problems. He's making a play. He's impactful, dude.
And it's crazy because it's like, it seems like it's every time he's on the field.
Yep.
It's not like, you know, he's on the field and, you know, 3 quarters goes by and like he hasn't done anything. Like, it's like every time he's on the field, he's making a play, whether it's a strip sack, fumble recovery, a sack, something, you know?
That's why I love that guy. Some sad news, you know, right before we started recording, word came out that Isaac Seumalo hurt his pec. You know, and then Schefter about 15 minutes after says that it feels like the Steelers dodged a bullet. It doesn't appear to be season ending. Regardless, pec injuries, you're looking at a range between 4 and 8 weeks out, you know, ballpark. That sucks. Is it going to be Spencer Anderson that fills in for him at left guard? Is it going to end up being Mason McCormick at left guard? We're high as shit on a guy like Mason McCormick. I don't love the idea of week one or at some point this season, you're going to see a rookie Zack Frazier at center. You're going to see a rookie, possibly rookie Mason McCormick at left guard. And then depending on what happens with Fontenot, right tackle. So
3 rookies on the line that is kind of scary.
It's worrisome. It's fucking worrisome because you saw how bad the line had looked for most of the preseason. I have some major concerns. I would be lying to you if I didn't say I have major concerns when it comes to that offensive line. And also, Jerry, I have major concerns at the wide receiver position. I don't know. I honestly expected we would have had something at this point, but you're going into the season with only 5 on the roster. Now, granted, they can add somebody between now, somebody that's been cut. We're just talking on Wednesday here. They can definitely add somebody, but you're looking at Scotty Miller, George Pickens, Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, and who am I missing? Roman Wilson. That's the 5 wide receivers. So it's fucking worrisome, man. The Aiyuk stuff, maybe we were led astray. Maybe, Aiyuk used us against the Steelers just to get played,
I think, obviously we're just fans. Yeah, we have some connections, but we don't know all the exact details. What we've come to find out is there were deals in place. I think it was more Aiyuk and Ayuk's team using the Steelers and other teams as leverage to see what he can get. And maybe this whole time he actually really just did want to stay in San Francisco. And hey, if he did, he was playing chess, man.
Yep.
He was playing chess, and every other team was playing checkers.
Yep.
And hey, that's how it goes sometimes. Not to say it's I don't want to give Omar Khan the L on this one. I really don't. I will say this. I think they thought they had a really, really good chance to land him. And maybe that's why early in the offseason they didn't make any big wide receiver moves, because they felt in the back of their minds hey, we're going to get this guy. We're going to get these guys. We've been talking and whatnot. But hey, man, yes, a wide receiver room, we don't really know what it is. Because, hey, as great as George Pickens is, and as athletic he is, and how good we see he can be on Sundays, he still has stuff to prove as well.
Yep.
It's not like
he's not a polished, finished product.
We love George Pickens because the crazy one-hand catches, the body control, getting his feet in bounds, mossing receivers, stuff like that. But there's still a lot left to prove with the route running and stuff like that. So, it's not like George Pickens is Justin Jefferson. It's not like we have Justin Jefferson on our team or a Tyreek Hill. We don't.
Right.
So it's it's very worrisome having, George Pickens, he's still very young. Roman Wilson, super young,
and hasn't practiced, all training camp, all preseason.
You got Scotty Miller, who's a veteran, yes, but he was never a 1 or 2.
No.
So we really don't know what we got. And I think the X factor is going to have to be Van Jefferson.
Yeah.
That's going to have to be the guy who really steps up and, performs like Deontay Johnson was, for a couple of years with the Steelers. As probably bad of a teammate, and we don't really know, but we've heard stories as Deontay Johnson was, and kind of a head case and a diva he was. Hey, he made some big time catches. He was pretty reliable for the most part. Yeah, he struggled with drops here and there, but he was a pretty decent number 2. You know what I mean? And we don't know what we have yet. We really don't. So it's going to be interesting to see first couple of weeks what this team is really about on the offensive side of the ball.
I mean, really, for me, it comes down to, there are guys that were cut. For a while we were wondering, would the Texans move on from Mechie, John Mechie? Is there a chance they move on from Mechie? They don't. They end up releasing Noah Brown, who, was he produced. Was he an elite? At this point, you need to understand, we have to lower expectations. If we're picking wide receivers off the scrap heap pile, other teams' scraps, you're not going to get elite talent. You're hoping that you get a guy who maybe had a couple down years and you get a bounce back, like a Tim Patrick out of Denver who signed with the Lions last night, so that guy is now gone. But I don't see them going into the season with 5 wide receivers. They're going to add somebody. I will be shocked if they go into the season with 5 wide receivers, just because if you do lose George Pickens, oh boy, you are relying on some.
Oh, you're saying like an injury?
Yeah. If GP gets dinged, Jesus Christ, Jerry, it will get. I'll be nervous. Yeah, I'll be nervous,
curtains, bro. It's curtains.
Russ is named a starter. Russell Wilson is a Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback. That has come out about 2 hours ago. I mean, we all pretty much probably could see the writing on the wall.
That's not news. That's not news stuff. I mean, listen, we know how Tomlin operates. He always had the job.
Yeah.
It was always his job. And honestly, and I'll say this on record, I even think if Justin Fields outperformed him when it came time camp, preseason, because there was times where Justin Fields did look better. I think it was always Russ's job no matter what.
Yeah. I think it's hard to assess what Russ looked like after that second game against the Bills because the line was so fucking bad. I mean, the line was just so bad. You can't expect you can't expect him to perform whenever he literally had no time. Broderick Jones had a terrible day in that Bills game. You know, Broderick Jones is another guy we'll talk about. I have some major fucking concerns at that point. I mean, I will be lying if I don't tell you I think Broderick Jones worries the shit out of me. But
he even seems, Kev, even in his like interviews talking about right tackle, it really seems like the way he talks about it, like he doesn't even really want to play right tackle.
And why would he? Last year he comes out and he says he's uncomfortable at the right tackle spot. He said it's not a position he is familiar playing. And when he was drafted, the big talk was, guy has superstar potential. However, he needs to be polished. He's not a finished product. He's raw, very raw at left tackle, the position they drafted him to play. And so you move him from where he's raw to a position he's never even played at right tackle. And he has the elbow, injury that I don't want to put too much blame on that because he has openly said it's as good as it's going to be, which tells me one of two things. It's not a major concern, or in order for it to be fixed, it would require surgery. So that's why he's saying it's as healthy as it's going to be, which scares the shit out of me. But I would like to see him. His best game in the Pittsburgh Steelers uniform was when he played left tackle against the Ravens in like week 4 or week 3 last year when Dan Moore Jr. was dinged. He looked good. He didn't give up a pressure. He looked fucking great. I would like to see him at least get in that position before we start saying things like he's a bust or maybe this was a miss of a pick. It's way early to say those things, especially unfair to him playing him out of position. But I'm worried about that spot for sure, which is why, I'm hoping and praying Fontenot is ready to go by next week, and you can have him play behind.
Do you think he's going to start?
I don't know, dude. He said he's going to practice next week. I would think that if he's healthy and cleared and he gets a full week of practice under his belt, that they would probably slide him in because Jerry, I don't think the Steelers are stupid either. I think they see this situation with Broderick Jones going on. They see his body language. They hear the things he says in the media about maybe not being comfortable in that spot. And it's probably best practice to move him back to left tackle before you ruin this guy like you did with a Kevin Dotson. So
would you so your opening day, first game of the year, would you want Broderick Jones on the bench and Fontenot at right tackle and Dan Moore at left tackle?
Yes.
That's what you would do. Okay.
Yeah, I would. Okay. And I hate Dan Moore. Like, let's keep it all the way a buck. I don't like Dan Moore. I don't think Dan Moore is the future, but, the way it stands right now, something's obviously wrong with Broderick, and I don't just want to...
Dan Moore looked pretty good in preseason.
He did, and I fucking hate saying it. It's great for the team. It's great for the team. I hate saying it, though, because it's just going to prolong the inevitable. However, he's not the fucking worst. He's not good. He's not very good, but he's not the worst case.
I'll tell you what, he handles Myles Garrett every time we fucking play them. That's all I know.
Knock on wood right now, Jerry Don.
Well, I don't got wood. Oh, maybe I don't. No, I don't.
So, yeah, nonetheless, I would like to see eventually Broderick slides into the left tackle spot. And today in practice, there were some times whenever they had Dan Moore playing right tackle, a few snaps here and there, and Broderick was at left tackle. I just think right now you're seeing Broderick. I don't want to overreact to it, but I just think you're seeing him at right tackle simply because they don't have another real right tackle because Fontenot's hurt. And so it just makes sense. You have to play the guy there. He played there last year. And so, that's who you're going to put in there. But circling back, Russ is the guy. Russ was always going to be the guy. I think it was a fake quarterback competition. You know, you have to make it seem that way to Fields. You don't want to crush him thinking he has no chance. What they did is probably good coach speak, saying all the things. It's competition, this, that, and the other. But all in all, Russell Wilson is going to give the Pittsburgh Steelers the best chance to win if the line is decent. If the line sucks, you might have to see Fields strictly because he's better. He's more mobile.
Yeah, that's a thing too, dude. Like, you know, the first couple weeks they come out, line's trash, and they're getting blown up. Russ is athletic, yes, but not as athletic as Justin Fields, you know?
Right.
So Justin Fields is going to have the upper hand there, you know, getting outside the pocket and whatnot, scrambling for yards.
Yep.
I don't know. I still think they're going to play Justin Fields. My take is Russell Wilson is going to start week 1, obviously 100%. They came out and said that. I put the over-under at 3.5 plays for Justin Fields that game.
I think he's going to play. I think the Steelers are going to tip their hand. You know, even Tomlin was asked today in his presser, you know, are you going to see Justin Fields, are you going to see him at all playing? And Tomlin said there might be some packages where he comes out, things of that nature. So
he's going to get some snaps. He'll get some snaps.
I agree. And I think he should. I think he fucking should, man. I really do think he should in some capacity. And I'm not a big fan of doing that kind of wild shit where you bring in another quarterback, that kind of shit. But he has value with those legs. And he's still somewhat of a threat with his arm. Now, maybe he can't read the defense great, and that's where it's going to help him sitting behind Russ. I think best case long-term for the Steelers is this. Russ starts, even if he plays the whole season, if Fields learns everything he needs to learn, the Steelers extend him maybe 2 years after this and give him the keys to the car next year, he will have sat behind a arguably Hall of Fame quarterback in Russell Wilson, Super Bowl winning quarterback. And as long as Russ is teaching him the right shit, at least he goes into next year. He's had a year to reset and learn, go out there next year, and we'll see what we got in him. But this is 100%. This is the best case for the Steelers is Russ being the starting quarterback because they're in win now mode, and Russ is win now quarterback. Whether he's as athletic as he used to be is one thing you can argue about, but he's definitely the guy best suited for the Steelers to win games right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that take. I think he's definitely has the upper hand for sure, and I think he deserves it too. I really do. I mean, you know, he got fucking shit on so bad in Denver, and like, dude, he had 26, whatever, 28 and 8. Like, dude, that's not a bad year, and he got fucking shit on, ran out of town, and he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's got something to fucking prove.
Yep.
And I still think he could play at a high level.
I think if Russ is playing great football, he gives us fringe top 10 to 15 quarterback play, and that is more than good enough given what we've had the last few years. If we get that out of Russell Wilson, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are a legitimate threat. Now, if he struggles, it's going to be a down year. That's just what it's going to be. Schedule's very difficult. So, you know, I'm not down on the fact that they named Russ the quarterback. I'm not down on the season because Seumalo is going to be dinged up. You know, I still think optimism is still relatively high for me. They got to start hot, though, Jerry Don. That first 8 games, the Pittsburgh Steelers have got to start at worst, and I mean worst, 5-3. I would kill for 6-2, but at worst, I feel like they have to start 5-3 in order to have any chance.
If they start like 4-4, it's over.
Cooked.
Like, that's cooked. It's dead. You know, they can't start 500 those first 8 weeks, man. They have to come out fucking winning, man. They have to. They can't. So the last couple of years, it's always been like, we can't have any of those games this year where it's like, if we just won that game or that game, like, we can't have that, because those are the games that come down the line and you're like, okay, that just fucking ruined our seeding. Like, you know, we could have been the fucking 4th seed and now we're fucking this seed. You know what I mean? We can't have that.
Cardinals, Colts, Patriots. That 3-run stretch last year, can't have one of those.
Horrible.
Have to fucking start fast in Atlanta next Sunday. And
like, I'm so surprised that, like, listen, obviously we're biased. We're Steelers fans. Big ones at that. But it's like, does the media know, like, who we had at quarterback last year, you know, with Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett, and the Steelers made the playoffs? Dude, like, do they remember that? You know,
they're shitting on us. They're shitting on us, dude.
I mean, that's all they do, bro. That's all they do. And it's like, hey, dude, our defense is still legit. I think we got better. We got way better on defense. You know, we have so many more weapons on defense. You know, we added some weapons on offense, drafted some people. Sure, you know, they might come out slow the first week or two, but I think they're going to click. Dude, this team has playoffs written all over it. They really do.
And they need to. Here's the thing,
Yeah.
Jerry. This will be year 8, no playoff wins. They better fucking have playoffs written all over them. They better win a fucking playoff game this year. It's go time now, baby. I don't want to hear excuses. It's get it done. You know the Steelers, there's only, I want to say, like 3 or 4 teams in the entire NFL that haven't won a playoff game more recently than the Steelers.
That's crazy.
That's embarrassing. That's not what our franchise is. That's not what I expect this year. It's time. This is the fucking year. You say that defense is going to be good. They're going to be better than last year. I agree. And they fucking better be better than last year. They're littered with talent all over that defense. It's the highest paid defense in football. So if the offense is going to start slow the first 2 or 3 weeks, you better have that defense out there fucking banging, because that's what might have to carry us in the early portion of the year when we have to win games. If we can't start slow, that defense better be starting fast for us.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. No doubt. They better, man. They better.
You want to run over the roster? Just talk about a couple guys that maybe we didn't see making the team or did see making the team. So your quarterbacks are pretty obvious. Kyle Allen being the third string quarterback, Fields 2, Russ 1. Najee, Cordero Patterson, Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren, has the hammy, should be okay for week 1. It looks as though he's trending towards being able to play week 1, which would be a nice boost. But I didn't hate what I saw at Cordero Patterson, Jerry. I didn't hate what I saw at Cordero Patterson.
No, that one electric run. No, he's still got some speed, man. He's a big boy. He's still got some speed too.
And how about the hole that our boy Zack Frazier generated in the middle of that offensive line?
I know. I think he's gonna be a dog.
Agreed. Bro. So is he a rookie center? He is, but my God, Jerry, he looks like he could be a great center. I mean, his angles that he takes in blocking, the scheme, he understands the scheme and where he has to get to for the scheme to find success. And you saw it very much on that Cordero Patterson drive where he has to kick out, and shield that man to the inside. That way Cordero has that lane. I think if the bread and butter is going to be the offensive line, or the run game, rather, the offensive line is what's going to make it go. And I'm excited that finally the middle of that offensive line should see some success with Zack Frazier. You move to Spencer Anderson, makes the team. He's going to be more of like your swing. He could play left tackle, could play right tackle, could play inside. James Daniels, Troy Fontenot, Zack Frazier, Broderick, Ryan McCollum, Mason McCormick, Dan Moore Jr., and Isaac Seumalo. 9 linemen. What's interesting is you get Spencer Anderson makes the team again this year. And so now you're looking at the entire, which is very rare to say, the entire draft class from not this past year, but the year before, 2023, has made the team. Every single pick that we had in that draft class has made the team yet again. That is quite impressive out of Omar Khan. So, we came in a little hot saying, I'm kind of shocked he didn't add a wide receiver, and I am still shocked about it. I won't lie. If they moved Deontay Johnson, I thought they were going to add somebody. But to have everybody from that draft class make the team, that's very good news and promising for the future. You go to tight ends. You have Freiermuth, Mecole Pruitt, and Darnell Washington, and then Connor Hayward, they slide into the fullback role, but he's going to be more of your tweener tight end. Yeah. I'm good with that. It's interesting that they're keeping 4 though. You would think that usually they would keep 3, but we talk about it all the time. Arthur Smith, he's a tight end type of offensive coordinator, so it doesn't shock me that they keep a guy, especially a guy like Mecole Pruitt, who is one of his players. Wide receiver, we've been over it. It is, to me, the biggest glaring weakness on the team. You could possibly say cornerback, but wide receiver is a concern. D-line, they kept a bunch of guys.
Yeah, 8, right?
Yeah, and so this is where I am at, if they were going to add a wide receiver yet and drop somebody, from the team, I would see it coming from the defensive line. You have Montravius Adams, who I like. I think Montravius Adams has trended well for the Steelers. He had a good camp, good preseason. He looked good when he's in there. Keeanu Benton, we've been over. That guy's a fucking stud in the making.
Oh, dog, yeah.
He is our best defensive lineman, in my opinion. No disrespect to Cam Hayward. I just think the upside is so much higher for Keeanu Benton at this stage in his career versus Cam's. You have Cam. You have DeMarvin Leal, who had a good camp, Jerry. I mean, he had a good camp. I thought he was great.
Yeah, he looked great. He really did. Very versatile.
Logan Lee makes it. Isaiah Loudermilk makes it. Isaiah Loudermilk took another step forward this year. That's another guy that I was on the bubble. I was not sure if he would make the team. Isaiah Loudermilk gets in there, Dean Lowry, and Larry Ogunjobi. So they kept a lot of beef in that defensive line, which to me is interesting. 8 is a lot at the D-line position.
Oh, yeah.
Linebackers, you only have 3 edge rushers, which is
It's weird, right?
It is interesting. Only 3 edge rushers on the whole team. I mean, unless they intend to use DeMarvin Leal at the edge like they did a little bit in the preseason.
Do, honestly.
I don't see how they don't. There's no way you're going into the season just 3 edge rushers. That's wild. You would have at edge, you just have TJ, Highsmith, and Herbig. And then you're looking at the rest of your linebackers play inside. So Matakevich, mostly going to play special teams. Patrick Queen, Landon Roberts. Mark Robinson makes the squad, who I think would be the guy that they ultimately bump whenever Cole Holcomb comes back off of IR. And then you have Peyton Wilson. So
he's suiting up for week 1, Peyton Wilson.
It looks like he's cleared. Yeah, it looks like he's cleared. Out of concussion protocol, we dodged a bullet there. I was worried when he was down that, God, please. Well, I just want to see this guy get some actual game experience, so he should be okay.
We're going to see it week 1. That's my dark horse this year, man.
I think he's good. Dude.
I think by the end of the year, this is my take. By the end of the year, he will be the second best player on defense.
I think he has potential to be very, very fucking good. Second best player. That is a wild statement.
I think he's that good, bro. I think he's that fucking good.
I'm gonna name you 3 guys, and you're gonna tell me he's better. Keeanu Benton.
By the end of the year, I think he can be.
Ooh.
I think it'll go TJ,
Minka.
This would be my list. Okay, without Payton Wilson, let's say he's out of the equation. Payton Wilson, I'd say TJ 1, Joey Porter Jr. 2, Keanu Benton 3.
Minka, you're just bypassing Mink.
I'll bump Minka. I think Keanu Benton's gonna have a crazy year. But Payton Wilson, I could feel like, dude, I'm so high on this guy. He's going to be my next favorite player. I could already feel it. Once TJ hangs it up, in a couple of years, I think I'm just going to be all in on Payton Wilson. I think he's that good.
The potential is all there for me. I'm not going to say he's going to be second best player on the defense. That's a lot of expectation on a rookie.
Oh, I already bet him for defensive rookie of the year.
You're a fucking sick man. I love it. I love week 1 when optimism is at its peak. By week 3, it may be like, I was fucking wrong. But D-backs. So Beanie Bishop. Looks like Beanie Bishop is going to be your slot. He's going to be your nickel.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Undrafted guy. A lot of potential. He was great at West Virginia. A lot of potential there. It's just going to be about, he might take some lumps early. He might take some lumps early. You just got to play through it. You're going to get Cam Sutton back after 8 games. So I think ultimately they feel better about the cornerback spot than a lot of fans do. I don't hate the cornerback spot personally, Jerry. I think it's fine. I think the cornerback spot is okay. You're looking at Deshaun Elliott, safety alongside Minka, Jalen Elliott, Minka, Dante Jackson, DeMonte Casey, Miles Killebrew, special teams ace, JPJ, Darius Rush, and Corey Trice. You add Cam Sutton into that the second half of the season. I like it. I think it's a pretty good fucking secondary, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. Cam Sutton was really solid for us, dude. He really was.
He was. He had an interception in that last preseason game, too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like him. I can't wait for him to come back.
Have your expectations changed on the season so far, Jerry Don?
Well, this injury was pretty big with Seumalo. I will say that. But will it cost them a game? I don't know about a game. Maybe one game.
What are you thumping? What are you thumping on?
Like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my I don't know, this holder for the computer
fucking
or whatever.
Drummer boy over there.
No, I think whatever. If I predicted them 11 wins or 10 wins, whatever I did, or 12 wins, whatever it was, maybe it's 11 now or maybe it's 10. But I think they're in a good spot. Receiver is my biggest worry. That's it. Receiver is my biggest worry.
If they can get production out of Van Jefferson, I was all summer just thinking they're going to add a wide receiver. I was very high on the idea of Aiyuk. I was pretty sure that was going to happen just because they hadn't added anybody else. And I thought maybe, Omar Khan thought that was going to be the guy. If that doesn't ultimately end up being the case, I'm going to have to see it for a few weeks before I double down on the idea that the Pittsburgh Steelers can win 12 games, just because you just simply can't win running the ball first every week. I think it is a good enough recipe to win some games ultimately late in the year. Weather turns to shit. You can lean on the run game. You can bully teams. Yes. But if teams wise up and they just say, fuck it, we'll take George Pickens out of the game entirely.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to see Van Jefferson be a dog. I'm going to need to see Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin. I'm going to have to see these guys, or the tight end position. I just want to know that it can work before I start to get a little arrogant. It's forced me to just reconsider my expectations. I'm not lowering them. I still think this is an 11-win roster, all things considered, barring injury, things of that nature. But to say 12 wins or winning the division, I'm going to have to see some output before I really ride high on that.
Yeah, and Calvin Austin is a massive question mark at receiver.
Big time. I mean, it looks like the potential could be there, sure, but he's still little and he hasn't done anything through 2 seasons that's really, that amazing outside of a couple deep balls. But I agree. So anything else you want to add to the conversation today, Jerry?
No, I thought it was a great show this week. I'm looking forward to I guess the next time we'll record is next week.
Yep. So we'll do one episode next week, and we'll do like outlooks, things of that nature. I'll be in Atlanta. So if any of you are coming to Atlanta, we are going to have a banger Terrible Tailgate. You're going to have Yancey Thigpen, Greg Lloyd, couple of legends. You'll find tickets on terribletailgate.com. Hop over there, buy some tickets to the tailgate, ice cold beers, all you can eat and drink. It's going to be a fucking blast for that. So I will be there, and we will record one episode leading up to that. We'll do some expectations, gambling picks, all the normal stuff, and then thereafter Jerry and I will record an episode directly after the game, so you're going to get some raw reaction, and then we'll record another episode later in the week. So moving forward, after first game, you will get 2 episodes a week.
Yep. We're planning to record like me and Kevin talked about, the Steelers play Sunday at 1. We're going to record after the game. We'll record for 20 minutes every week after the game, 30 minutes, wherever the case may be, and then after that's done, it'll be uploaded hopefully that same night, and then we will get to during the week, maybe Tuesdays or Wednesdays, something like that. Maybe Wednesdays drop an episode. So we'll be getting two a week from here on out. This will be the last one we do one a week, I think.
Correct. Yeah. Just next week will be the last one a week, and then we're going to be rolling 2 out every week thereafter.
Subscribe is big, man. Please, guys, subscribe to the channel. Like the channel. We got some momentum. We're getting, guests. We always do our best to get the guests and whatnot. I feel like we have, I'm biased because it's our podcast and whatnot, but I feel like we put out, some of the best Steelers content, as far as podcasts go. So really appreciate the support. Subscribe, like, comment. Kev's going to do some giveaways this year. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Hell yeah, we appreciate the shit out of you guys. Share it where you find it. If you see this on your Instagram, share it to your story. The clips, share them. That is the biggest way to get the word out. We appreciate the shit out of you guys. We will see you here next week. Later, Jer.
Later, buddy.
We're here. We're still here.
We are still here.